Alright, I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of procrastinating about talking about Tokyo Ghoul. Like, I constantly procrastinate, and the main reason, and I think I've said this before in videos, but I need to be clear about why the Tokyo Ghoul videos happen the way they do, and I kind of want you guys' input as well, mainly as to my reasoning and what do you think about this. Like, honestly, when it comes to Tokyo Ghoul, for some reason, opposed to every other series and manga, I take reviewing it too serious to the point where I become a perfectionist. If I don't have every single note to talk about every single thing that I want to say, I'll just say, oh, I'll get to it next week or next week, and next week never really comes. And I don't know what it is about Tokyo Ghoul. Maybe it's that I'm too attached to it, maybe it's that I love it too much, maybe it's that it's so complex I feel like I have to do the review justice, but every time I approach talking about Tokyo Ghoul, I always procrastinate, and that is really shitty, and it really pisses me off because, first of all, I'm not giving you guys the content that a lot of you people want to see me talk about Tokyo Ghoul and kind of, you know, theories and reviews and, you know, all that good stuff, and at the same time my own fandom, because I love Tokyo Ghoul. In case you haven't seen every single million thing that I bought of Tokyo Ghoul, how many years already at this point I've been talking about Tokyo Ghoul, I love it. So you guys miss out, I miss out, and I think I just need to start approaching it as I just need to put on the camera and talk. And, like, you know, I'm sorry if some people maybe will be disappointed that I'll miss out on a couple things, but if I don't do that, I will continue to procrastinate, and I'll never get these reviews out, and I'll never be able to talk about Tokyo Ghoul Re. So right now, I have a couple of notes down, but for the most part, I'm just putting on this camera, and I want to talk some Tokyo Ghoul. So yeah, let's talk about what's been going down. So I think when I last left off, we had the big revelation about Arima and stuff like that. A few chapters before that I did miss out on talking about is the revelation that Mutsuki is basically a psychopath, and honestly I felt that that was some of the strongest stuff from not only Tokyo Ghoul Re, but Tokyo Ghoul in general. Finding out about her father raping her, beating her, everything about her past and how she turned into a maniac. And I mean, a lot of people, I remember at the time reading the comments and stuff like that, a lot of people at the time were kind of conflicted and torn between, like, okay, yeah, what she did, killing her father and stuff like that, was justified because he was, you know, a piece of shit what he was doing to her, but I think she also killed every family member she had as well. I think she killed her brother and maybe her mother. Again, it's been a while, whatever, but she was doing that. I think she killed a bunch of cats or random animals and stuff like that. That's when people were kind of conflicted. Like, it started off like, yeah, you know, fuck that dad, kill him, torture him, whatever. He was a piece of shit raping her and all that. But when you go to the point of killing innocent family members and innocent animals, that's when it's like, ooh, Mutsuki, you just went a bit too off the deep end there, lad. But what happened to Torso? Ooh, you deserved it, you son of a bitch, you piece of shit. He got what was coming to him, and I ain't gonna lie, Mutsuki's character, out of all of the newer characters and stuff like that, Udi and all of them, like, Udi, he improved ridiculously. Like, Udi went from scumbag of the year to, like, I mess with the dude, but Mutsuki is the most interesting, one of the most exciting to analyze, talk about, and find out more details about, because she's a fucking nut job at the same time having a gender crisis. Like, you know, she's a girl but wants to live like a boy, and a lot of people have their opinions on that. I mean, it's just such an interesting character. I love the way Mutsuki's been written thus far, and I love that the latest chapters as well have her involved again. But that whole mystery of everything that happened with Torso, that was some insane stuff, and I loved it. Then at some given point we had the fight with Juzo and Corona thought that she got him, but at the end of the day, you can't fuck up Juzo, and Juzo basically made her run. I love the little line that he said afterward where he said, if somebody runs, don't worry. If they run twice and they lose twice, they never gonna be able to beat you. So I love that line from Juzo, and I definitely felt as though it finally put a rest to that little rivalry that he had with those two siblings. But honestly, the Tatara and Takizawa stuff and Hoji, like, there's just been so many amazing things. Like, honestly, as far as giving a score goes, like, I love to talk about it, whatever, but if we're giving scores, there's no need. I mean, maybe the past couple chapters of Tokyo Ghoul haven't been the most phenomenal because it's kind of been focusing on, like, lower key characters like Naki and stuff like that, even though the past stuff with Naki as well was pretty good, finding out about, like, why people respect him and follow him and stuff like that. But scores wise, it's just been like 8s, 9s, and 10s. Like, let's be clear about that. Tokyo Ghoul has not lost its stride, and when it does amazing stuff, it is truly amazing. And then finding out the history between Tatara and Hoji and the grudge that he had over the older brother. Like, for starters, it's been hinted for a while that there was some connection there, and there was even a couple lines back and forth about, you know, him wrecking him and stuff like that. But finding out that Hoji was hunting down Tatara's brother for 2.5 years, it makes sense that Tatara really wasn't going to be able to take down Hoji. If Hoji already knew the older brother's fighting style, and Tatara Tatsura was pretty much similar to his older brother and the way he did things or whatever, yeah, Hoji was gonna wreck that ass. 2.5 years of chasing somebody in China, the dude's gonna kick your ass. But when Takizawa showed up, that's when personally I was so emotionally torn, because don't get me wrong, Takizawa, psychopath, became nuts. Everything about him just nuts. Finding out about Kano torturing him and shit like that, like, it makes sense why he's so damn nuts or whatever. But the way they approached it, I was kind of like, fuck the CCG. And, you know, time and time again, you can say that because they've been pretty ruthless towards the ghouls or whatever. But when you find out that Takizawa says, yo, I really wanted to do this entire time. I was going to take down Tatsura and, you know, rescue you guys. And they say, emergency, we got an SSR ghoul here. Ow, we're going to take him out. I'm thinking, you son of a bitch. And that's when I was like, you know what? No mercy. I hope Takizawa goes nuts. And then when you get to the next page and you see him holding the head, I'm like, yes. Like, I felt so torn in a sense because, yeah, Takizawa's technically the bad guy and he's already done so many atrocious things in Tokyo Ghoul Re after we found out that he was still alive and he was turned into a ghoul or whatever. But the way they approached that, instead of saying, maybe we could talk it out, maybe we can, you know, put him in a jail for now and figure things out, see how sane he really is or what's going on there. Just exterminating him, that's when the themes of Tokyo Ghoul kind of kick in, like what's right, who's the right party, what's wrong. And I was just kind of like conflicted there because it's like, he did do some bad things, but he's telling you that he just took this guy down for you and he's not trying to hurt you. He kind of want to be back with you guys. He's just a little fucked up in the head. Okay, maybe a little more than a little bit fucked up in the head. He's a lot of bit fucked up in the head, but you get what I'm saying. And I honestly didn't feel any remorse for Hoji after he got beheaded. Like, what you did was fucked up. Like, Takizawa already went through hell, and then you do that? And then, of course, we had the return of Amon showing up and shit like that. I was like, oh, and the thing about Amon showing up and him kind of going at it with Takizawa, saving Mato and stuff like that, or Akita, whatever you want to call her, you know, first name, last name, whatever, is that he told Takizawa he's gonna save him. He's not gonna kill him. He's not gonna go about any of the methods. So what was Amon's answer to saving Takizawa? Was it just that he was gonna make him go the same path as him? Was he gonna say, yo, join me, we're just gonna be in the shadows from now on? What was his plan, his idea, his morals that he was gonna bestow upon Takizawa to quote-unquote save him? And also finding out, of course, Amon was one of the failures, so you could definitely see that Kano, he's been busy. Kano's been busy in that lab. And was anyone else tricked when we saw the knife to the eye of Takizawa? Like, I thought that was Juzo, and then to find out that that was actually Mutsuki, I was a little bit thrown off there. I was like, really? Like, Juzo's the one that throws knives, but okay. Now, Nishio jumping in on the whole Kano situation, I'm curious if there's more to that. I mean, I guess he would have some sort of grudge against Kano, but at the same time, I was kind of curious why he would get involved in the whole Kano situation with Corona and them. Like, maybe I'm misremembering, maybe it's been a while again, maybe I'm forgetting something, but what would Nishio's big gripe be with Kano of, you know, trying to take him out, other than the fact that, you know, he had involvement with certain aspects that ultimately was the catalyst to fucking up Nishio, or I guess Kaneki at the same time. Oh my gosh, and I can't forget to mention, I mean, he just got into the fight and there's not really too much stuff happening with him right now, but Tsukiyama back in the game. Yes, baby, it was too long. We waited way too long to see Tsukiyama, so the fact that he was back in the game fighting, I'm like, yes, baby, that's my dude right there. And there was something that I felt as though was foreshadowed when Corona was saying, I know what you are, Kano, and then she mentioned that basically he's just a mad scientist. Kano said something along the lines of, I was worried you were gonna say something else. What is it that he was worried she was gonna say? Was it just something natural that he was worried she was gonna call him a scumbag or something like that? Or could it have been something further? Maybe he was worried that she would have found out something about him, something about his past, or something about who he truly is. So that was something interesting right there, and I think that was foreshadowing. And then the end of the latest chapter with Mutsuki going at it with Takizawa as well as Amon, and then Mato throwing herself in front of Takizawa to save him. I was like kind of conflicted there because I think mainly it was Amon that kind of woke her up a bit, because at first when Hoji was there, she was like, you know, we were just trying to do you a favor by killing you. But when Amon showed up and he kind of showed her that, why are you doing this? Why are you being that way? And he was trying to talk to Takizawa as well, like, yo, I'm gonna save you and it's not to kill you or anything like that. I think that's what made her realize what I've been doing is fucked up, and that's why she jumped in the way of Takizawa. But the ending set up as though we're getting the old Tokyo Ghoul cast versus the new motherfuckers, because you gotta think as well, Kaneki is no longer on the side of the Qs. He's basically like an outlaw again, you know, that Sasuke high shit is done for. And at the same time, you also got Amon there. Model's pretty much gonna be on the bad side as well, because she just helped to save somebody that's, you know, a ghoul. And then we got Takizawa there. Like, it's looking like we're gonna have old versus new, and I hate to say it because I did grow to really enjoy and appreciate these new characters, but I gotta go with the old cast, baby. I gotta go with Amon, my boy Kaneki, Mado, I'm sorry, even Takizawa, which I don't know why, for some reason, out of all of these characters in Tokyo Ghoul Re, as of late especially, one of the most interesting ones for me is Takizawa. I think because he represents something so broad and something ambiguous and kind of the gray area of the laws of the world, and kind of just how do you approach situations like that. But yeah, baby, back, caught up Tokyo Ghoul. This time I'm really trying to stick to it and no more procrastination, and I really want, again, you guys' opinions on this. How do you feel about my approach? Should I just, you know what, read the chapter, make a couple notes, and just jump into it? Because again, I love talking about Tokyo Ghoul, and I know a lot of you like to watch me talk about Tokyo Ghoul, so yeah, I want to get these videos out, and I want to be back into the swing of things with Tokyo Ghoul Re. But thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.